Hello, the date is the 12th of the 1st, 2019. This is our couch, the end that's had a motor and all its actuator arms replaced once. The problem hasn't changed. I shall now show you how it operates. So this is the headrest coming up and reaching its utmost position. As you can see, there's an inch gap all the way along. This is the fixed one that you operate by hand, which has never had any problems. This at the other end is the other recliner, which in the position it's in now was roughly how it was sold to us, how we received it, the ones we saw in the shops. The headrest is in a good position. It's just, you can watch the telly and things like that. Whereas the one at the other end, as you can imagine, you're sitting with your head about 2 inches further back, which means you're staring at the ceiling. That has never been any different. After the fault developed, shortly after we had it, it never changed. It's never changed since. This one never ever goes to where the other ones are. Doesn't matter how many times the service engineer has tried, even after fitting all the new mechanics, no change. And his words were that he was going to put on the report, if I remember rightly, if I can conjure them up now, issue not remedied, or issue not rectified, or issue still there. So in other words, he accepted that there was no change. He thought it was a good idea to put a little bit of Hyde lubricant between the faces there, thinking that was stopping it, but it's nothing to do with it. It's the mechanics of the thing. Now, getting back to this side, this recliner, which also has issues, the position it's in now is where it should be, and it goes into the position maybe once, maybe twice a month. You can be sitting there and all of a sudden you think, oh, the headrest is in the right place. But I'll now show you what happens when you operate this. It's been in this position now for a couple of days because it's not been used. I was saving up. So if I crank this down, you'll notice there was no gap. When I crank it up now, there's every chance that there'll be a gap. There we are. And now it will not come back to that position you originally saw it in. It'll stay like that for weeks and weeks. And then eventually it might come back. As you can see, it now doesn't line up with the middle one, and it's roughly akin in its positioning to the other one, which has had a motor changed and all mechanics once already. These are the issues we have. It just doesn't look like it should do, and now you can't really use this as a headrest to put your head back because you start looking at the sky. I'll take it down once more and we'll see if it. The service engineer also noted that this one was erratic, I think was the term he used. We'll bring it up again. No, it's not going to come back. I'll keep trying. Look, down, up. The gap is there, clear daylight, which you could see there wasn't before. We'll go right down, we'll go right back, obviously still a gap there. We'll take it right down, bring it right back up, and we got daylight. It's a tiny bit less than the other one, but as you can see, look, it doesn't line up anymore. This one's the hand operated one, so that's fine. So it's very similar to this one. If that's not enough evidence for you, I really don't know. You've sent out 3 people now. The first one said the nuts and bolts holding the mechanism in place have not been torqued up correctly, they've come loose. That proved to not be the case. The second engineer that came out took this end to bits, took all the covering, the calico type covering, took all the staples out, looked at it, said, I can't repair this. There's nothing I can do to this. Nothing's loose. It's just not coming back to where it should be. He doesn't know why. You should have a new couch. That was his words. Obviously, Nicoletti or whoever didn't like that. They said, we'll replace the motors. They replaced the motor and the 2 actuating arms inside, which meant the whole thing had to be taken to bits again. The calico had to come off again and be re-new stapled. So that side of this couch is pretty second hand now. Put the new motors on, didn't make a blind bit of difference. They came back exactly where it is now. A 2-inch gap, or 1.5-inch gap, which when you put your head on there, as you can see by the angle, you're looking up into the sky. So you don't use a headrest when you sit there. I can't really say anymore. Why I'm having to do this again, I really don't know.